Every time the Local 3 Storm Alert team gets the high temperature right, we'll add $10 to the jackpot. At the end of the month, someone wins the whole thing. Only from Local 3.
Local Sky 3, bringing you the big local news from Unique Views.
The Chattanooga area, as you know, is full of wonderful senior living communities, and if you're considering moving into one, no doubt you'll have endless questions to ask. Well, Mark Warren and John Mark Griffin say there are some questions you need to be sure to ask, and they are here with Warren and Griffin to give us the skinny on what to put on that list of questions. So
ain't it good to be alive and be in Tennessee?
Always is,
always
my friend.
Is.
Always is.
Good to see you, Julie.
Okay, so this one y'all want to focus on, though, because people do want to know about certain things when it comes to senior living,
right.
But you want to have the security parts asked.
If I was at that point where I was trying to find a nursing home for my parents, the first place I would start would be Medicare.gov. Medicare.gov has got a great website you can go to and actually break down staffing issues, health inspection issues, and quality control measure issues, and you can compare nursing homes head to head at this website. Because nursing homes get Medicare money, they have to report to Medicare on certain situations, and this helps them, develop a website where you can pick the best nursing home. It's a 5-star rating, and so you start with overall 5 stars are the best, 1 star is the worst, and they break it down in different categories.
Okay, so you're on Medicare.gov,
right?
And it will have different categories then of those ratings.
For example, staffing. 1 to 5 star rated on staffing. And staffing would be, the nurse ratio to the residents, and the turnover. I think the important thing is looking at the turnover. If the nursing home has a high turnover rate, that's probably not a good thing.
When you're looking at staffing, does it get so specific, John Mark, as to say what types of staffing? In other words, RNs versus...
There's not really any requirements in the law as far as a staffing ratio, but the website Mark is talking about gives you a breakdown of a number of different categories, so you can rank kind of the overall success or failure, so to speak, of a nursing home. Mm-hmm. So that is a great place to start. But you also have to consider, what do you want in a nursing home? In other words, some nursing homes may have a religious affiliation, and that may be important. So you can look at that aspect of a nursing home.
Right.
Sometimes you may need a short-term facility. For an example of that, if somebody is rehabbing, after they may have had a surgery and they need some ongoing rehab, sometimes it's a long-term decision where you're going to put your loved one there for, maybe the rest of their life.
And that's going to also be objective as opposed to reviews that you might read.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very objective because it's the data that the nursing home has to provide to continue to receive Medicare dollars. So they have an incentive to provide this information. And back to staffing, it does break it down to RNs, CNAs, and NAs, and LPNs as well. So you do have that. You have the state average as what the state is and what the nursing home you're looking at is.
It just doesn't. There's not just a requirement you have to have X, Y, or Z, but it will give you that breakdown. But obviously, the better nurse to patient ratio or resident ratio, the better for the resident.
And under quality measure, it goes into things like pressure injuries. How many pressure injuries do they have? How many falls do they have?
Bed sores, as we call them.
That's what I think.
Yeah, bed sores, and how many falls do they have? This is critical information at your fingertips.
You often are here talking about insurance concerns.
Oh my,
so
yeah.
Is that part of it
That's what you have to be worried about.
This is on our list. Number 1 is, do they have liability insurance? There is no requirement for a nursing home to have liability insurance. When we drive a car,
you have to have that insurance to drive a car.
And if I don't have liability insurance, I should not be driving my car. And if you don't have liability insurance, there's a reason why you don't have liability insurance. You have a problem driving a car. The same holds true for a nursing home. I mean, when you go meet with a nursing home administrator, when you're shopping around, that's the first question you ask. Do you have liability insurance?
Because what that means is, if your grandmother falls because of a negligence on their part, you can't do anything.
Bingo.
And if you're going to have insurance, generally you're going to be responsible.
Yes.
We find there's a correlation between irresponsible behavior, for example, people driving on the roadway that may be irresponsible with no insurance.
Sure,
there is
because they're untouchable.
The same way with nursing homes. There's a reason why they don't have liability insurance. Now they'll say they're self-insured, which sounds pretty fancy that they're self-insured, but that's baloney.
Can you learn that on Medicare.gov?
No, because...
But you can ask. There's no substitute, too, when you pick a nursing home, is go visit.
Yes.
Ask questions. You can ask if they're insured. You can see the residents. Are they happy? Are they engaging? Is the staff engaging with the residents? There's a variety of things that just researching, going out there and visit. You can't supplement that with anything else.
I don't want to interrupt y'all, but there is a difference. There are categories of these communities.
Right.
Because a nursing home is different from independent senior living.
Right.
Does this apply both?
Yes, it does. Now, because they have both breakdowns on that,
Okay.
but independent living is more of a residential setting. Maybe you're still married and live in an apartment. In a nursing home, you're exactly right, it's more medical based, where you have to have medical care there, taking medications and making sure you're on your meds.
And a lot of facilities now have different levels. The independent living, for example, where you're basically living in your own apartment.
Right.
Then there may be assisted living, where they may assist you for certain duties. And then we have what we've always referred to as the old school thinking of a nursing home, where there's around-the-clock nursing care.
When you are asking about the liability insurance, do you ask for proof of it, or do you take them at their word?
Well, yes, you'll ask for proof of it. If they have liability insurance, they will tell you. They should brag about it, really, because there's a lot of nursing homes in this area that are self-insured.
Okay.
The big names have liability insurance because they know what they're doing and they budget for it, and they know it's a cost of doing business is having liability insurance.
Okay. If they
First off, there should be state law that requires all nursing homes to have liability insurance. Should be state law. There's not. There should be state law that actually you have a requirement as how many residents per RN, how many residents per CNA, how many residents per...
That ratio that we were talking about.
It should be state law.
Okay, let's say that it is more like assisted living and true nursing home care. Do you ask about visitation hours? Is that important to find out about?
Because you want,
want access to your loved one.
You want a nursing home in proximity, so you can the drop-ins. During COVID, when there was no drop-ins, it was a house of horrors because you could not drop in and check on your loved one.
And that's one of the other considerations. A nursing home may be in close proximity to where you live, so you can stop by, see your loved one. And dropping in without an appointment or without knowing is a great way to check on them.
What about insurance from the standpoint of a resident? Because if you are renting a room, do you need to have some type of insurance?
That's a great idea, but I think that's passing the buck to where the expense should be.
Well, I don't mean... Okay.
Well, if you're talking about like renter's insurance, you can certainly have a rental policy, and there may be even a requirement in some places that have where you're actually the resident as if you're renting an apartment. As we see in apartment complexes, there may be a requirement to have rental insurance if you're going to be a tenant there. And that's not necessarily a bad idea, but passing the buck for you're paying for something that the nursing home should be providing.
Okay.
The nursing home should be providing certain things.
I know you have your great big notebook there, so I don't want to leave anything out. Or is there anything else you want to hit?
This is really just to make me look good.
Well, my papers do the same thing.
This is a prop. This is his prop. This is my prop, okay? This
is my prop.
This is your prop.
Okay, but we do have a couple of minutes left. So is there anything else you think? Does the Medicare...
Well, this is what I think. You go into, if you're shopping around for a nursing home, walk the back halls. Okay, you can walk into a nursing home. You have this Taj Mahal reception area. It smells good, looks good. You want to take a tour of the facility about where your loved one's going to be. If they are reluctant or they want to make an appointment and come back, well, that's a red flag right there. They should be so confident about the care they're giving their residents. Come on back.
Your drop-in shouldn't matter.
No, it should not matter. We have nothing to. I mean, this is the most important decision that you're going to be making about a loved one.
And the Medicare.gov is a great idea too for your starting point, because if you have family living in Mississippi, you can check on that from Tennessee.
Well, and Medicare.gov, like I said earlier, you can compare nursing homes head to head. So say you have it narrowed down to 3 nursing homes, and you can compare them head to head, staffing, quality of care, and health inspections. Matter of fact, the health inspection is actually posted on Medicare.gov. So you can go there and see the last health inspection, and normally that tells a lot of tales about what's going on in that nursing home. Because I was researching one the other day, and there was a complaint about psychotic medication being overprescribed, and you prescribe psychotic medication as a chemical restraint, so there's no changing the bed or getting them up or anything because they're laying there under psychotic medication. And a nursing home was inspected by the Tennessee department, and they came in and said, this is not right.
Yeah.
This is not right.
There's
So
So
you
more-
compare the apples to apples, and that's what you need
that's
to do.
it
to make
right
a
there.
decision.
That's it.
Because
Apples
it
to
is
apples.
more than she was a really nice lady.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, right.
So here's where you know where to find them. Two really nice men, by the way. Warren and Griffin at the Dome Building on Georgia Avenue. 265 Hurt is their phone number. WarrenandGriffin.com, the website. Thank you.
As always, thank you, Jim.
Go Vols.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
Visit your local Kubota dealer, Kubota of Chattanooga,